Yeah, time for Deep Dish, where we go deep on a topic or we dish about ourselves. And we've got talk show host Steve Wilkos joining us at the table this morning. Hello.
Yay.
Hello.
So the new season's coming out pretty soon.
Season 13.
13 season.
And this season we'll hit our 2,000th episode, which is a really big deal.
That's a big deal.
We're excited about that.
How does that feel? Did you ever think you were going to get to this many?
Well, we didn't know if we were going to make it out of season 1, so now going into season 13, it's really nice, and the show has picked up so much momentum over the years, and we have a lot of fans, and so it's a great feeling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, we do know that your father just passed.
Yep.
Of course, we're sorry for your loss.
He's my biggest fan, so I think the
Yeah.
ratings are going to go down a little bit.
Really?
My dad, he lived in Tampa, and the show comes on 3 times a day down there, and he watched every episode. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
Yeah.
very, very proud. What's something
Yeah.
he taught you about?
You know what? I always said I wouldn't be able to do the show without my father, raising me.
Yeah.
He instilled everything that I am as a person, and he was my hero, and I always looked up to my dad. He was the only man I ever feared, and so he was really a great father.
Does he have that loving, tough guy approach that you have?
But he was even more quiet, just a quiet guy, didn't say a lot, and never complained about anything, and it just, I'll miss him deeply.
Nice.
I'm sure he's still watching you.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, well, let's chat about this. So they say it's best to forgive and forget, but is it ever okay to just forget? What do you guys think? Does every hurtful act need forgiving?
I don't know about forgiving, but, I move on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe you don't trust that person ever again or something like that, but really, like losing my father, you realize what's important, right?
Yes.
Like, you don't get caught up on a lot of BS. Just, you might still never forgive, per se, but you just move on and try to live the best life you can, and,
Yeah.
This is a perfect topic for you because you give so much life advice on your show.
Yeah.
Don't you think that forgiving, though, is a part of moving on? But
listen, there's not too much that I wouldn't forgive, right? Like in everybody's life, somebody has done you wrong. And like I said, if somebody's like, hey, I messed up, I'm sorry, of course you're going to forgive them. But if they kind of just say, hey, screw you, then it's kind of hard to forgive.
It's really hard when you don't get an apology, but sometimes you just come to terms with the fact that you may never get an apology from somebody.
And then if you, sometimes you still have to deal with that person. It could be a family member, whatever, and you have to deal with them, and you put a smile on and say, okay, this is only going to last a little bit.
I feel like forgiveness is more for yourself too. There's this song that I've been listening to on Taylor Swift's new album, I Forgot That You Existed, and it's kind of about this topic. It's basically saying that you don't love the person, you don't hate them, you almost just forget about them and you just move on. It's never really going to be okay, and you're just like, well,
eat you up, right? Because it's not good for you.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a tough topic, especially for kids. School bullying, it's pretty common, but kids and teens rarely seem to want to talk about it, whether they're the target, the bully, or just a witness. So how should parents approach this subject?
Well, it's a topic that we cover a lot on our show.
Yeah.
And then with my own kids, I'm very lucky that my kids are kind of very strong and independent people already at the ages they are. They're both teenagers. My daughter, I really don't feel like I need to. She's just a good person, and she's a pretty tough girl.
Yeah.
And my son, I just tell him, I go, if you ever get bullied, punch him right in the face. That's honestly what I tell him. I say,
really?
Oh, yeah. If somebody's bullying you, one right in the nose.
There's a lot of criticism around that these days.
Well, I
what do
might
you think
catch
about
criticism, but that's the way my father taught me. And guess what? When somebody did do that to me, when I went to Lane Tech High School, I did it once. Nobody ever bothered me again.
So do you feel like, because part of us could argue that that's the Chicago way, do you feel like you have to have a little bit of, I want to say gruff, a little pushback when it comes to bullies?
I think you have to, there's different ways of standing up for yourself. I agree to that, right? Okay, there's different ways to handle things. That's the way I handle things. That's the way my son's going to handle things.
He said, don't come at me.
You can't, but all I'm saying is, if you take stuff, you're going to get a lot more, and you need to put a stop to it, And like I said, there's different ways of people dealing with it, and I think I definitely would want my daughter dealing with it a different way, and that might be, chauvinistic or whatever. But my son, I've always told him, if somebody's bullying you, whatever, you give him a punch in the nose. He just started high school. I said, definitely there. Because I go, if you put a stop to it the day one, you will never be bothered again, and that's the truth.
Okay, so you mentioned your son. What do you think parents should tell their girls?
You know, just come to me, talk to me about it.
And you'll go.
They say
handle
handle it with their parents.
But hey, my daughter's been taking boxing for a lot of years. She's probably tougher than my son.
Yeah,
So.
I'm sure you raised someone very strong.
It's hard when you're a kid too, because I feel like when you're 5th, 6th grade, when this all starts, like you don't even know how to deal with it. So they say that like parents just talk to your kids before it happens, like you talk to your son before it happens.
But I want to say this:
yeah.
the worst thing that can happen is when bullying is happening, or somebody's picking on somebody, and what's everybody doing? They're videotaping and nobody's stepping in. And that's what I hate more than anything. If you see something like that going on, don't record it. Step in and stop it.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about this too. So, have you guys ever been told to look on the bright side? Well, it turns out that could actually be the key to living a longer life. So, there's this new research from Boston University School of Medicine, and it says that optimists not only live longer in general, they could actually have a better chance of reaching age 85 or older. Would you say you're glass half full type of people?
I was going to say I definitely am now. There's that song they say, you wish you knew you were in the good times when it was happening. And I try to tell myself every day, these are the good times, right? Like, these are the best times of my life. Enjoy them. And I feel like I'm a happier person. I don't get bothered by things that I used to get bothered by. Plus, I think it's age, too, as you get older.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
It seems like you're really good at being present and living in the moment.
Right, exactly. And just live in a moment. And anything that's good, like a good sandwich, the newspaper, like little
just
things
say
like that,
Yeah, I've heard too, when you say thankful and you're like, I'm thankful for this sandwich, as silly as it is. It's like, more please, and it just instantly shifts how you feel. And even if it doesn't make you live longer, it probably gives you a better life while you're alive.
Well, we are thankful for season 13.
We're
so
thankful
am
for Steve Wilkos.
Bring on 14. All right, you can catch Steve, the Steve Wilkos Show, weekdays at 12 p.m. on CW26. Steve, you always got a home here.
I'm glad, and I love coming back to Chicago, so thank you for having me.
Thank you.